two people on the rope, and they'd be like, say, we'd have a song, and it'd be the rip o' the rope, the sailors on the sea, ask your mother to buy Lyons tea. If she doesn't buy Lyons tea, take the rope and don't take me. So you jump out and then somebody jumps in. Against the wall. You had two balls and you played against the wall, and it was kind of like penny a pacture in, so over a pacture in, so up you a pacture in, so down you a pacture, left leg, right leg, archy, backy a pacture in, so they were the games you played with the two balls. Sometimes you could play with three if you were good.
Hopscotch, we used to call it piggy, and we'd have a shoe polish box, and that'd be our piggy, like, to throw down, and you'd hop all around it. So you made your beds from 1 to 10, and you kicked the piggy to different things, and most of the time was your father's polish for his shoes, and you'd get it and you'd bait it to make it the skiddier the better, as we used to say.
We actually went to the shop, myself and Dolores and Eber. We signed up for the elastics. The kids were sitting looking at it and said, what are you doing with these elastics?
Do you know what was another great outdoor game? The hula hoop.
That's right.
But whoever could keep it the longest, we'd all be there, but there'd be somebody counting, and you'd have to keep it on your hips, and it was so hard, wasn't it?
I could never do it.
It was really so hard, but it was so competitive as well. But whoever could keep the hoop the longest on their waist was the winner.
Yeah, I could never do that.
That was another. The hula hoop was so big then.
Yeah, we used to play this game like called Jackass. It was just around the time when Jackass the movie was out, so we used to just kind of like replicate what they did in the show. So it was good crack, like.
IRA, there's a few different names for it, but where we were, like, it was like you had two teams, and one team was on, and one team had to pick a word, and everyone in the team had a letter. So the team that was on had to chase everybody, and if you caught them, you had to like bait them until you could get the letter out of them. So when the team that was on got all the letters together, they had to guess the word, and if they guessed the word, then the other team was on, and the other team got to pick a word then.
I had 4 friends, and we call ourselves four on wheels. We used to go off on our bicycles in the mornings, and we'd have our sandwiches and our bottles of Coke, bottles of pop, lemonade, and we used to cycle to my grandmother's, and we'd go out and have a picnic in the field and ride back home on the bikes. And that would last all day. We'd leave at 9 o'clock in the morning, we wouldn't be home till 6 or 7. We'd cycle 5 or 6 miles, and then we had our little meetings in our little sort of den, and we'd decide where we go the next week. There was 4 or 5 of us. It started off there was 5 of us, and then there was 4 of us. Yeah. But we called ourselves 5 or 4 on wheels. We thought we were brilliant.
Kick the can. Is where a can is put in the middle of the road, and everybody hides. And if you can get out and kick the can before the person sees you, you've won the game. I do have to say, the kids today, last summer, were playing it out there. Surprised me, but they were.
I had a PlayStation 1, and like you know the arcade game that you plugged into your telly. Yeah, had one of those.
I owned it, I think it was called a Commodore 64 or something, and it was a game, Rick something was the game. It was based on like a James Bond theme kind of a thing.
had these games, you'd put 10 pence coin in. What was them? The Atari games.
Oh yes.
But you'd have to go into a shop to play it
That's right.
if you hadn't got a console. But it was absolutely brilliant. There used to be this turtle game, and the turtle had to run, and there'd be these things. And do you remember Pac-Man?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I loved Pac-Man. But it was just so different.
Well, Pac-Man would have been in the amusements when I was a kid. You wouldn't have had. There was no such thing as console.
I think my last memory of playing outdoor games was around 15 or 16 maybe. But I'd still do it to this day. If I could get enough people to do it, I'd love to just keep doing it. I think it's less of an outdoor thing. I think children don't get along as well as we would have when we were kids. I think there's a difference in relationships. They're like more dependent on their parents to kind of sort their friends rather than being able to do things themselves. When I was younger, like, we'd be out all day. We'd go out really early and just keep playing all day, and no one wanted to go inside. So if you had a fight or if you had like a problem, you sorted out there because nobody wanted to go into the house no matter what.
Children don't be out in the roads as much because their parents are too overprotective. I know, okay, things are different, but kids have to play.
Yeah.
They really do have to play. And I think, well, when my children were small, I used to sit and watch them on the road. It's not that they were put out to play and they were forgotten about, but you'd sit and watch them, and my parents did the same. Children don't know how to solve their problems because they don't know how to talk to each other, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, if kids are in clubs and that, they have to correspond with each other, but most of them, they seem to find their way of solving problems is with fists. They fight each other.
They'd
They actually
argue,
fight
and then
and
they
argue.
wouldn't speak to each other. They'd lose their friendship, would fall out.
And I think it's due to these video games and all that, because most of those video games are all violence.
Yeah.
That's Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
I know the kids aren't supposed to be playing it till they're 18, but the majority of them
Yeah.
do play it. And I think it's very violent.
Yeah.
So they get their way of solving problems with bashing each other.
Yeah.
It's sad when you don't see the kids, especially in the summertime, and they're out there and they're just kind of, they don't play games. You don't see the girls with doll and pram. You know, you don't see them with their dolls. It's kind of like these handheld jokes. What's that DS or wherever you see them out there. Or phones. They have phones and they're just like phones. Well, I mean, I was 40 odd before I got a phone, but they're 5-year-old and they're getting phones. But you don't see them actually playing games that should be played.
Teddy bear, go upstairs. Teddy bear, say your prayers. Teddy bear, switch off the lights. Teddy bear, say good night.
Because now, say if kids were out and they were playing outdoors and something happened with their friends, they don't want to talk to them. Like, instead of when we were younger, you'd have a bit of a strop and then go back to playing. Now they have I'm going inside to play my iPad, I'm going inside to watch telly, I'm going inside. They have all these different options, so it's kind of, they can run away from the problems instead of sorting them out there and then.
I don't think they interact the same way. They've no imagination, even down to their conversation skills and stuff. You're interacting and you're playing with other children and you're, I don't know.
Like, you're mixing more with children because, like, when the kids are at home, like, they could stay in all day. Like, I know my daughter Leanne, she's 15, and she's a lot of like, even all the lads she'd just be with, they're always texting her, "No, I'm staying at home," and they'd be on their laptops or Facebook, or they'd be on their Wii playing that Need for Speed, or one of these games, and they'd stay on it for the day. Like, I think things are just going to get worse. Like,
well, I think it's up to us then to make sure that our grandchildren show them the games and bring that fun back into childhood.
Yeah.
Show them game. Well,
It'd be great for
Yeah.
somebody to bring it to the spotlight to say, look, do you remember these games were played? Like, these are real children's games,
yeah.
not like nowadays.
Yeah, I think so. I think it would be the best thing to do.
Yeah.
It would be lovely to, like
It
that.
would.
Schools. It could start in the schools again.
Yeah,
Or playtime for children playing with sand and crayons
Yeah.
and the water.
yeah.
It'd be nice if the mothers done it, but they're not. You know, they're not going to, and it's just a pity because there is some great games there.
I
And
remember my grandmother always saying, stay a child as long as you can, because you grow up too fast.
It's the truth.
They do nowadays.
I really do believe that technology has taken over childhood. Girls out there, and they're only about 9, and they're like little women, and you just say, God, that child, it's gone, you know, and they never get it back.
Staying in all day, just going on these things. They're not learning for themselves. They're just.
They're. It's all technology. It's
It
all
is, yeah.
social media.
It is, yeah, exactly, yeah.
O'Leary 10, O'Leary over. 1, 2, 3, O'Leary 4, 5, 6, O'Leary 7, 8, 9, O'Leary 10, O'Leary over. Plainsy, clapsy, twirl the wheel to backsy.
Does affect the children's fitness because they're not out running around the road. They're not
exercising.
They're not exercising. If you look at enough the obesity of
Yeah.
small children,
Yeah.
there's an awful lot of small children that you don't see them on scooters or bicycles
No,
or
like we were.
walking their dolls. Or we go out in the morning at 10 o'clock and we wouldn't be in till you come in for your dinner.
Yeah, that's
You'll be
right.
sent back out. You go back out again. You'll be
Yeah.
back in for your tea. You'll be there then till
You'd be out the
bedtime.
day.
And when you come in to go to bed, you would be exhausted. You'd
Yeah.
sleep because you're after being out in the fresh air all the time.
So that's it, really. It's a pity, it really is.